Grace Anamali is my name, and I'm your coach, wellness coach. Here, a healthy food place, we share ideas and recipes on how you can stay healthy naturally. Today, I want to share an experience regarding waist pain. Last time, during one of the lives, we shared experience on how and various ways you can manage waist pain naturally. But most importantly, there are a few tips I want to remind us that happened in this very instance. There are different causes of disease, and every disease has a sponsor. And it is even more important to identify the cause of the disease as much as you are in a hurry to treat it or to look for a remedy. So both are very important, and I even consider the former one more important in most cases. So it is also important to remind us that health is your greatest gift. It is important for me to experience what happened yesterday, because if I don't, so how will I know the pains of people who are going through waist pain? As I've often said, I've not had it before, don't know what it feels like. And of course, I've shared about toothaches, some of the ones I experienced, and I thought they were even the worst. And on some occasions, I've said that this is the most, painful aspect of the health when it occurs. But you wouldn't be able to say the other until you have experienced it. And so, yesterday, after dinner, it all started with a very painful, as I lay down to sleep, after a few minutes, just before, it started mildly, just below my liver here. This is where the liver is, but below it, and then back down to the back. So I started feeling the pain, and it began to increase. I lay down to relax, and only to be woken up at the odd hour of the night with a very, so painful that it was difficult to go and ease myself, how to manage. And I stood up. My dear, waist pain is not easy at all. I thought it was the easiest. So I did. But on returning to the bed, it was so difficult trying to lie down, trying to put body, it was difficult, my dear. So I began to think, what must have been the cause of this? As I've often told us, once you have a symptom, that was the first. The first thing to do is to begin to search your mind where and how it all started and what must have opened the door and who is the sponsor. Every disease has a sponsor. What is the sponsor? How did it come about? That was the point I was thinking. And I now remembered that I lifted some heavy objects unusually during the day. And in this wise, I want to advise and suggest to older adults to be mindful of how we lift objects. Most of the research has shown that most older adults who have lived to, the graceful age, most of them go away because of accidents, maybe in the home, outside the home. It's one of the leading causes. But in this case, it was not an accident. It was actually something I thought I was still strong as I used to be, And I began to lift all those things. And after lifting it, the pain began to show up a little. And in the evening after the dinner, of course, you know that the dinner will place additional weight on the existing inflammation already. And then after the dinner, it kicked off. That's the pain. It started from below, not just after the under the breastbone where the liver is, down towards the groin. It was just radiating to the back. I was wondering, could this be kidney or what? Because every disease started with just one tickle or a symptom. What could this be? And of course, while thinking of all this, I concluded that the lifting of the weight was a major trigger that started it. So I advise us to be mindful. You may be strong, you may be quite strong some years back, or you may have been a very strong lady like my own self. But over the years, as you approach 60, 61, 62, you need to be more conscious of lifting objects because it can affect you in ways that you least expected. And so I concluded that that was the cause of this sudden pain, so painful. And of course, I'm not used to analgesics. I don't have them too. And I didn't know exactly what to do immediately because of the nature. So I had to listen to the nature of it too. Always listen to your body. Remember one of our popular tips here. Listen to your body. Listen. I was wondering, since it was going to the back, could that be kidney or what? Well, I never suffered it before. I don't know how it feels. But I was told, or I read rather, that it's always at the back. But of course, from the right hand towards the back. And then I sat down and began to consider also what I ate, because this is another doorway of disease. You must also reason what and what you have eaten, because once we eat, we're either feeding a disease or starving it. So if there was a mild form of inflammation there before, after lifting those things, then eating may have also aided it, and depends also on what and what. And so I began to search what and what was the dinner like. Of course, consisted of boiled egg, consisted of a lightly cooked vegetable, okra, and some vegetables, little vegetables and fish. I was wondering, this couldn't have been the cause. But then it also went with carbohydrates. So, my dear, I concluded that the food was also another factor that contributed to it. Why? Because I did not rest sufficiently, because it was getting late, and eating late is not our way. And so in a bid not to allow the meal to be too late, I didn't rest enough, and then decided to take it, to go for it, so that I won't get much late. But that was wrong, actually. That was also the second error I made. And so I concluded that the consuming of the food, when the stomach have not rested, the body have not rested enough, may have also affected the production of the digestive juice. So maybe it was not producing enough, or it was not even able to produce at all as a result of the tiredness due to the lifting of these items. They are household items. It's not household item usually. So what did I do? This interesting aspect of it. I got me a little warm water, took a little warm water, then got me my apple cider vinegar, and then took 1.5 cupful And why did I go for this? I had other remedies. I know that it will support, it's good for pains like arthritis and all those kind of inflammations. And since I was also suggesting or concluding that it may have been due also to the low acid that the stomach is producing, or stomach is even too tired to produce any. So we shouldn't eat when we are tired. That is where the mistake, one of the errors. It doesn't matter how tired, we do make mistakes. But in this case, I concluded that that was also another aspect. And so that was why I went for the apple cider. And my dear, it worked. The apple cider worked. It was so painful. Those who are going through waist pain, I now understand what you are going through. It's not easy. So after taking it, I began to feel better after 5-10 minutes. I added inside a slight warm water and began to sip it. And as I was sipping it, I was also listening how it's working. If it's going to aggravate it, I'm going to stop. But it didn't do that. So we shouldn't just take something and rush it, especially older adults. You must start gently and be listening to how your body is taking it. It's very important. When you take it and it's not going in well, you have to stop. Just don't take it and go up it. You may think that that is the solution. There are other remedies also, because the issue is, what was the body asking for? You need to know, you need to understand what exactly the body was asking for at that particular time. And that was the challenge here. So I concluded this must be the solution, but not too sure. So let me give it a try. So trying it, it worked. Perhaps it didn't work. I may have tried something else, and I wouldn't even be here talking to us. I may have been in the hospital, perhaps. So I have to take it. And in the morning, glory be to God, I was able to stand up and move around and turn my body as I'm doing now. And turn my body and turn my body. Then I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. It was so painful. It was horrible. I don't pray for it, any of us. Waist pain is a bad experience. You can't even lie on the bed. You can't even stand up. And I know what they are going through. So it was able to fix it. Now, it's not to say that in all situations of waist pain, you must go for this remedy, apple cider. I had already put knowledge to work, wondering what may have caused it. And what I ate also during the day may have not digested properly, since there was legumes there. And so, all those things put together, you must learn to put knowledge to work. When the first symptom strikes, don't neglect it. Listen to what it is saying, how the symptom is going. There is an experience last week about headache too, and the role of magnesium, which I'm going to share with us subsequently. And that is why you need to stick and to subscribe to this channel. If you want to be hearing things like this, how you can stay healthy naturally, how you can use food as your medicine. And so in this particular case, I put it and it worked. It worked for me. I mean, the apple cider, it worked in relieving me. And the morning as I woke up, I was able to go to the loo. And that was the end of it. And another reason why also I went for it was that it tackles constipation. And there was a slight mild form of it before the incident. So it's definitely going to make things worse. And so the toxic overload is always also a problem. And so I suspected that. So when such happens, especially among older adults, once you are able to take something that can help the body offload toxins, you definitely will feel better. to be a very big relief for the kidney and the liver, these organs and other organs of the body. One of the greatest challenges they often face is tackling toxins. When they are so choked with these toxins, how can we take them out? If only we can do it. And so taking this was able also to loosen maybe some mucus and other toxins, and in the morning was able to, excrete some of these things out. And that marked the end of that sudden excruciating pain. And if you have been going through pain, you don't need to quickly rush for this very remedy. You may need a guide, you may need a counsel, you may need coaching, or you can listen to your body. Develop the art of, first of all, what is the cause of this thing I'm feeling? Is there, as a result of nutrient deficiency? Is there any nutrient I'm missing, like that of magnesium or calcium, which I may be sharing in a few days to come? It may be. And instead of doing that, getting the necessary nutrient to support your body to do its work, we go for meds. That's where we're getting it wrong. And these meds also brings in their own toxins, because the liver must have to also remove the toxins, because they must have been preserved, the medications, with some preservatives, and the liver has the duty, the kidney too will have to remove these toxins after the work has been done by the drug. So it's important not to rush for remedies until you understand the cause of it, as in this case. What was the cause? How did I open door? Was it stress? Was it what I ate? Was it what I did, like a mouth case? And what other things may have sponsored it? Disconnect that disease from the sponsor. Once you do that, you're on your path of recovery. So the sponsor must be disconnected. Once you do that, you're welcome. So remember to subscribe to this channel, because more of such tips will be coming your way. Stay healthy naturally.